everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Motorsport Manager, the Underdog Challenge. Now, last episode we got a photo finish and we barely managed to hold on to fourth here with Coburn. Unfortunately, that did cost Bjelland a good race result because we did pretty much sacrifice him completely. He ran some pretty curious laps, let's say, where he probably shouldn't have been on the tires that he was on anymore. But that did allow us to basically give Coburn the optimal race. And boy, did she deliver. She barely held on to that fourth spot. I think she was about a wheel length away here from Tulipano. So we are very happy with that. And let's see if we can continue into Munich, where we've already been once in the second race, and whether we can do it again. It doesn't bode well for us that it is Munich, because last time we didn't do so well. We got Bjelland to a decent result, but Coburn here crashed out pretty early on in the race, so she was also basically last spot. Acceleration is what's most important. We're not too good on that, but low speed corners on the other hand are a spec part, so that should sort of be in our favor, as it will equalize the playing field a little bit. And then we still have the medium speed corners where, well, we are not so good on that regard either, but let's see what we can do anyway. Our car is looking pretty average. And let's see what the questions are. Eastwards Motorsport the Wolf had a bit of a disaster in that race, finishing down in 8th. What is your analysis? Now we can piss him off forever and then he'll never sign with us or something like that. We can also say that Eastwood Motorsport is looking weak. That will hurt their marketability. Or we can say that he's an excellent driver and then he will sign for us. I don't particularly care about their marketability, though of course it can never hurt to hurt a rival. Question is, do we want to ever pick him up? I'm not sure. I have no clue what his marketability is. He is a good driver, I think. We've looked at him once before in this series, when he actually overtook us and took the podium. I don't think he has good marketability, so we will just hurt their marketability. And let's see if we were right about that, Mr. The Wolf. You have good skills, so you should be somewhere up here, I think. Yeah, there you are. Yeah, we were right. 65%, I remember now talking about him. And he's already buttered up anyway, so he would actually sign for us if we really wanted him to. But 65% is just not good enough. And he even has a bit of a bonus that will go away in a bit. Yeah, we've been talking about this non-stop. Always try and get your marketability at all costs to that 5th level. It's worth having bad drivers. It's worth sometimes sacrificing money for it. You need this 5-star level. Well, as you will see very soon, some races will, some sponsor deals will expire. And that is when we can strike and really get that money flow going. All right, we have built a suspension. I think that is our second suspension, seeing that it is a good part. Yes, it is. It's a very good one also compared to what we currently have. It's also, of course, illegal. It means we are going to build another one, and that will probably be the last part we build for the rest of the season. So we are rather on time this one, as we're only about halfway into the season, not even fully yet. That's very good, but on the other hand, that also means we won't be improving the car any further, which is, of course, a shame. None of these parts are very good. I mean, this one, I guess, is a plus 40. That one would get us to 195. The thing is, we have a lot of time anyway to fully upgrade whatever we put in. So that we're always going to go for the maximum, not whatever gives us the most right now, but the maximum. Since this one takes minus 20, I think it's better to just take something like, this will get us to 85, 95, 95. Probably this one then, because this one takes 2 days extra and it's also more expensive. So I guess this is the optimal choice. This gets us to 195. The other one is at like 160. I think the part that we had built 130 and it goes to 170, so it's really not that much of an upgrade. This time we could say we don't want to build this new suspension, because anyway this 170 will be our new baseline for next season, which is pretty good. But the 25 extra isn't too bad either, I suppose. And it does mean both our cars can start on decent suspensions instead of only one of them. So I think we'll just bite the bullet, and it's only 750,000. After that, we are going to be saving like crazy. So in the end, we have level 5 sponsors now. So I think in that terms, let's just do this, and from then on, forget about making parts for a while. Yeah, that's fine. We're still almost at 9 million, so now we can really start saving. That factory level 2 is coming up soon. I think in 1 or 2 races we can probably do it even while going into a little bit of debt. Yeah, right now the chairman won't even let us because we would go too much into debt. But we are getting really close to being able to do it. So I think we will very soon. And let's continue for now. Expose. What is that? Axel Dior feels in great form. Form is 10 during the race. That's nice. We might actually give you a race then, just for fun. I think you're not a pay driver, so it would cost us a bit of money. But it could be sort of a little, well, let's say bonus for our reserve driver for doing his job well, I guess. But let's see. The first dilemma then. Steve, we're running in expose on Eastwood Motorsports and their awful work practices. We've had testimonials from their mechanics saying that they're overworked, understaffed, and in a ton of debt. Would you be willing to let us interview your mechanics to give our readers a reference point? They might have a few things to say about your own drivers, but it'll bring Eastwood Motorsports down a few pegs. Now, this actually would cripple them like crazy because they wouldn't get to spend any money almost anymore. Minus 50 is such a huge penalty. And it is pretty funny. To me, Eastwood Motorsport are in 4th right now, and in the standings they are 1st. So it would be kind of funny to cripple them a little bit. Do we care about our bonuses right now? You've got engine expert. You are getting very close to nurse, but honestly, I don't really care about nurse. Car condition drops slightly lower. Doesn't really matter when our entire car has very healthy parts, let's say. This one doesn't matter at all. This one I do like. That's the problem. Fast pit stops now have a minus 15% mistake chance, but are we going to be taking it over the performance boosts? I don't think so. So this is funny, so let's bring them down. Always have a little bit of a meme time as well, I guess. Alright, our car has been repaired, so let's have a look at what we can be doing from now. We are still repairing improving a few parts, and we are currently not working on any reliability issues. And I think I'm okay with that. I think the only part that could use a little bit of work is this gearbox, as it's only at 81%. Everything else is in a really good shape. So I think what we'll be doing is making sure that this one is perfect before the race, which it will be if we give just 3 staff, and then everything else will go towards increasing performance. That's okay. And yeah, before the end of the season, we should definitely have all the parts we want to have at max performance there. Last season we binned that one a little bit, but this time we will not. Alright, our suspension is done. And that means we are pretty much done with making parts this season. That means we're going to be saving a lot of money. Rexala Motorsport opens a brand new helipad. Good for them. Hopefully they cannot get level 5-star sponsors just yet. Yeah, now we have made the last suspension, and that one gets us to 195. That will be the new baseline now for next season. And that is actually maybe a good time to check what our stats would be if we were to use these parts right now. We're not going to, of course, because they're highly illegal, but for the sake of argument, what if we were? Put you on there and you. All right. And now, as you can see, our brakes are in 3rd, which is very good. Our gearbox is in 7th, not so good, and our suspension is in 10th, which is atrocious, of course. So we definitely have a long way to go still, even in the 3rd season, but our brakes already being up there, our gearbox is getting there, and yeah, our suspension definitely needs some work yet. But you shouldn't forget that we also still have to improve a lot of these parts. These ones, for example, still need a bit of a buff. These ones will get a tiny bit of a buff still, and these will also still get about 10% increase. So not too shabby, let's just say. Let's unfit these parts immediately, because if I forget and actually run these highly illegal parts, we will be ruining this series, as we'll have to rebuild all of them. Don't want to do that. Give Coburn the best car, because he has been getting the best results for us, despite crashing a few times. She still got the best results, so that is worth something, I'd say. And there is the Guilford Airport, which is basically Silverstone. And let's keep going. Choosing a vote. Alright. It is that time of year again. Luckily, we have all the money we want. We can now, for 1 million, actually pick a vote if we want to. And there is a lot of interesting options. Of course, another interesting option is just not doing anything. So first of all, there's the medium length practice sessions, or long length practice session. This could actually help us get those bonuses if we really wanted to, but I don't think that's a good enough bonus to pay 1 million for. We could also make it so that lap lengths will be longer. I don't think that suits us right now, because our car is a bit worse on average, so we actually prefer a shorter race, because it will be more random, and that is what we want. We could replace or change some tracks. Frankly, I haven't looked at which ones would be decent for us right now, and I don't think that is too useful either. Changing pit lane speed, well, doesn't matter too much. Merit payments is actually quite interesting, because this could actually give us way more prize money if we foresee ourselves going up for a higher spot anytime soon, especially in the 3rd and 4th season. I think we can definitely challenge for that. So this could be interesting. This type of stuff, double points for the finale race, I don't really care about. Same for all the different tires. It can give us some more options, but yeah, I don't care that much, let's just say. Virtual safety cars or real safety cars, refueling, all of these are interesting, but really not that interesting. And then there are, of course, the spec parts again. Now, I don't particularly care for spec parting another part. First of all, we just invested a lot of money to get all of the parts we wanted spec parted. To improve all the parts that we were that haven't been spec parted. Second of all, if we spec part another part, it comes down to basically only 2 parts actually having some performance. And yeah, we can get those to level 1 basically, probably rather quick, because we don't have anything else to focus on. But I don't really want to do that for a few reasons. First of all, we wouldn't be developing our car at all, and also not our HQ much, because we just don't need to, and that could bite us in the ass when we actually go up a few competitions. Second, it would become way harder to actually finish higher up way consistently, because yeah, our strategy often is better. But it still comes down to, well, who is actually the best racer? And we don't have the best racers. On top of that, there's also just, with more equality, it's really hard, even if we do have the best strategy, to do well consistently, as all the other teams have sort of the same car. So that it doesn't have my preference. There's also qualifying based grids. Qualifying is a dumb minigame. I don't like it, so I don't really want to be playing it during this series. It's very annoying, just not very fun. And there is also the grids that we can choose. So how do we want the grids to be, if not for qualifying? So we can either pick randomized, or again qualifying, or just keep it the way it is now, which is basically reverse. So if we are last in the championship right now, we get to start first on the grid. And if we are first, we actually have to start last on the grid. For now, that suits us, because often we are not really up there yet. But once we get to, let's say, the 3rd or 4th season, it could actually be beneficial for us to not have that, to have random, for example, because then we have a better chance of actually getting up there instead of always having to start from last. Now, I do really enjoy the inverse grids. It makes for a much more fun race, in my opinion. I don't think they should implement it in real Formula 1, but it is really fun. Think of when Hamilton got placed 10 places behind, and he had his turbo engine that was full seconds quicker than everyone else. That was really exciting. That race would have been incredibly boring without Hamilton having to do all the catch-ups. during the sprint race and then also in the real race. So all of these have a place, I think, and all of them could be good decisions. On the other hand, 1 million is a lot of money. And frankly, nothing out of these options really speaks to me. And all the rules that are currently there actually benefit us quite well, I think. So yeah, we could do some weight stripping or something to increase our performance. And that is actually interesting, but well, the other teams could do it too. And I'm not sure how good the AI is at it. But frankly, I think we will just not choose a vote. 1 million is a lot of money, and there is nothing that really speaks to me. So I think that is just the way it has to be for now. Let's save up our votes, make sure that we can veto or go for any votes that we see that we really want. And for now, let's keep our money in our pocket. All right then, the race will be a 25 lap race. It has a 40% chance of rain, so that is quite significant. And a lot of pressure is placed on brakes, and brakes is actually our best part right now. So that is very nice. We're only in 9th because we're not actually fitting our good brakes, but still 9th is better than 10th. All right, you are on the party circuit with a bill on champagne that reportedly came in at £25,000. Well, maybe we don't let you race then, since you are kind of, well, partying too much, I guess. And our factory work is also done. So that means now our final part is up to 100% that we're using. So this was the only part I was a little bit worried about. That is nice. I think we will be just picking all the other parts and actually starting to work on their reliability as well, just to finish it up completely, but really with very little staff. I don't want to put too much emphasis on it. Just finish it up, just so we don't have to worry about it ever again. And that is good enough for now. Actually, this one we should have also done a little bit more. Actually not do the engine then, and pick these two. Yeah, that will be fine. And let's give a few more people, just so it's absolutely done for the race after this one. Past results have indicated that we could be going for this Condor Telecoms, and if I had done so, we would have actually gained a lot more money. Question is, do I think we can do it again? Well, there is rain, so let's for once gamble. If we don't make it, we don't make it, but let's just really gamble and see what we can do. Yeah, we would have already, I think, had that payout 3 times this season if we actually committed to it, and that is already a lot more money than all the 200,000s we got combined. So playing it safe sometimes also can cost you a little bit, as it did this time, I think. Alright, let's pick our 2 drivers with the best feedback. It was a 25 lap race, so there is no way in hell that we are doing mediums, because as always we'll need to do 2 stops anyway for fuel. So let's make sure that we are on softs, and let's put our bars in the corner like always. There you go. Softs as well. You are kind of fine. This way and this way. Alright. Yes, looking good. And get out there in practice. And have fun. Send you out. And send you out. And there we go. Let's see. I always love this circuit. All the trees and everything else. Very nice. Bring everyone in again. And you love your wings. So that is very nice. But everything else is very poor. Or at least poor. Since we know that that is poor, it should be somewhere around here most likely. And since you are very poor, let's just put you also something like that. That should do it. And keep you on the softs, as that is most safe. We also got an excellent for Dior here. That is very nice. 72%. Let's put you, since that is poor, somewhere around here. This needs to be very far off, and you can be right back where you were. Alright. Can we stiffen up the handling? Well, hopefully we just did. And let's bring you right back in. Well, it's just going quite well, but again, I don't see us getting level 3. But one can dream. Alright, we have a much better result now, but we can still work a little bit on the speed balance. Probably need to go even further left, I suppose. Let's do that. Right around here, maybe. That should be okay. And then make sure that this is right where it was. And get back out there. And you are now excellent, excellent, excellent. Perfect. That means we can send you out for the remainder. 89%, 98% is perfect. We'll bring in Coburn one last time. Just to check that we went the right way. Yes, we did. Alright. Then you can now also go out for the remainder of the practice. And go have fun. Alright, and now we just wait. And see what that got us. Probably our drivers will do rather bad because they're on old tires and they have a very full fuel tank. But that's okay. We don't care so much. Coburn is actually having a form of 10. That is very nice. Hopefully she takes that into the race. That would be nice. We could give Dior a race because his form should also be 10 on race day. I do kind of like that idea. On the other hand, also a bit nasty maybe for Bjelland to just demote him for no reason, especially to a party goer like Dior, who hasn't really proven himself yet, as he's only been our reserve driver for about 2 episodes now. Let's see what we do. Alright, 4th is the objective. Will be hard to get, I think, but let's try anyway. It seems to be raining a little. Yes, it is. But not very hard. And this is the situation where a forecasting center would be really nice, because we could see a little bit further into the future. And maybe see if it's already going to level off. But I think starting on wets here is... Or sorry, definitely not wets, but starting on inters here is probably the best option. You don't want to be caught out here with on slicks for at least, let's say, 3... We can at least see 3 laps where inters are definitely better. The second lap is debatable, I think. And after that, we don't even know what's going to happen. So I think, yeah, we are going to start on the inters. We'll get about 10 laps of fuel. Let's make them last. Yeah, we can run the tires very aggressively because they outlast the fuel anyway. And we'll run the fuel aggressive for the first lap and then see where we go from there. Bjelland is going to start quite far up the pack, whereas Coburn is only about halfway in. And let's see what that does for us. And we are off. Bjelland very badly off the line, whereas Coburn did quite well. She gained a spot, Bjelland lost one, so sort of a wash. Let's see how that ends up. Someone ran very wide there. That was Marchetta. Thanks to be you, buddy. You are now way behind. And yeah, looks like the rain is not going to level up anytime soon. Since Coburn is in 9th, I think I want to put her a little bit conservatively on the fuel. Tires still, I don't particularly care. We can run those rather aggressively, like I said, because they should last for quite long anyway. If there is any potential for us outliving this rain with these tires, that would be very nice. I would settle for that. I think I'll be dropping both of them off their super high overtake mode. Basically because I really want to see if we can outlast this rain. That would be incredibly nice. It doesn't look like it just yet, but we can last for basically 10 laps if we don't run too aggressively on the fuel. And our tires can definitely also handle that. So by running the tires aggressively, whereas the fuel we run a little bit less aggressive, I'm hoping that we can make at least one of our drivers outlast the rain. But let's see what happens. Yeah, that still looks like more rain to me. Alright, well, that is what it is. I think we need to start easing off those tires a little bit. Since you'll be going first, let's drop you back a little. And let's start also just putting you on orange now, I'd say. Oh boy, I would really like it if this rain would level off. I don't want to get caught in having to use a second set of inters when basically we don't need one for, you know, like 3 or 4 more laps. It is costing us a lot of positions, I know that. But I think if we are trying to get that 4th, we need to somehow do it based on the pit stops that we do. And try and outsmart everyone here. So I know it is a gamble, but I think it will be very well worth it if we can make it stick. Yeah, tires are looking fine for both of you. Yes, that is what we want to see. That rain is dropping quick. Very, very quick. That means probably around laps 8. Around lap 8, we can get on the slicks. Probably means almost everyone will be able to, so that is a shame. It would have been better maybe if the rain stayed on for like 1 or 2 more laps, as we can probably make it work, whereas the AI might not be able to. Let's cross the finish line and then we see where we stand with both our drivers and their fuel levels. And then we'll see. Yeah, okay, it's going to completely level off. That is very nice. We need to last for 1, 2, 3, 4. Basically 4 more laps with Bjelland, I think, and 5 more with Coburn. So that means that Coburn can start burning some fuel too. And for you, we can start running overtake. Really just churn through those tires, I think, for both of you, because that is now no longer even a debate. Yeah, and let's do it like that. I think that should be okay. So yeah, we did cost ourselves some positions that maybe we could have held on if we played a little bit more aggressive, but I think anyway we're kind of timed it almost perfectly to what our fuel levels would be. So I can't be too unhappy about that. Pretty much everyone else is going to get the same type of deal, but that's okay. It is what it is. We could potentially try and make Bjelland last for 4 laps, but then Coburn would need to last for 5, so that she would have to go on very low engine mode. I'd rather do it like this. That lap there, that's sort of half rain still, looks fine enough for slicks to me. So we'll just let Bjelland go out there on them. That should be fine, I think. Alright, see what we can do. Alright, your tires are getting a little bit destroyed. Let's very quickly ease up on them for a tiny bit. Get them down off of that high level. Now put you back on yellow each. That is okay. And yeah, that looks fine to me. Let's see what we can do here. 1 more lap for Bjelland. So you kind of need to go on high mode now. Whereas you can probably do red at least for 1 level. Put you on orange. Let's now really start destroying your tires again. No risk of blowing them up. And then we get you on the softs. There will be 17 laps left, so you should be fine on twice soft. Just about. We can't be running them too aggressively, but that is okay. We'll make up for it with running our engine a little bit higher. Alright. Do 1 more lap. See where that gets us. Looks like we are the first into the pit. Not the end of the world. Let's see, can we get you to the end? No. Okay, so we have to run you on this for a little bit and get you also on the softs with 16 laps. You should definitely make it. That is no issue at all. Alright, and that is looking good. Your tires are getting somewhat destroyed, but I'm okay with that. Your last lap anyway. And let's get out there. You cannot be running red, but you can be running high engine mode at least. Because we get 10 laps of fuel, yeah. Something like yellow, orange is, I think, okay. And you are going to be pitting very soon, which is pretty much the case for everyone, I think. Okay, there were a few other people that pitted. Some people opting for the mediums, which I don't think is that smart. With the amount of laps that we have left, but let's see. Coburn is definitely not getting out ahead of many people in the pits. Well, there's one guy there that we overtook. But yeah, this is so far not a great race for us. 4th is looking unlikely with how it's been going so far. He really stopped the Bjelland there in his tracks, unfortunately. That is not very handy. Let's put you on the exact same strategy. And then we just go. And let it ride. Some people waited very long on their inters. Looks like they got overtaken by pretty much everyone. So I don't think that was necessarily the smartest choice. Otherwise we wouldn't have been able to overtake them if it was, I think. Can we change up the strategy to get me past Coburn? It's been 2 laps now. Well, the thing is, I don't think you're faster. And she has fresher tires, so I guess we could theoretically make you play a bit more aggressive, but I don't really see the point of that, to be honest. I guess you have been kind of faster since you're sort of on her rear the whole time, no pun intended. Both of you should be fine on orange for the rest of the stint. Nah, let's just let them fight it out. We are motor racing here, Bjelland. We are motor racing. Yeah, this is looking fine. Yes, I know you can't get past. That is the point of a race. No, this is not right. This is not right. Kumar and Tomberg, we are going to be overtaking since they actually had to pit their parts. And I just realized it is raining. Ooh. That is looking like Inters to me. One more lap out on the flex is fine. But can we actually make it then to the end of the... Ooh, that is looking unlikely actually. We kind of needed more than that, I think. No, we can just about make it if we pit now. And we do need to pit. I think one of our drivers will unfortunately have to do one lap on slicks. Which is not ideal, but it is the only way basically. So we can actually make it. And yeah, it'll have to be Bjelland, I think. Let's put you both. Yes, I know, sorry. Let's both put you very aggressive for now, as we need to really be burning through what we have. If I had noticed that a little bit earlier instead of cracking jokes, then we would have probably been doing a little bit better. I would have taken in one of them, or no, we couldn't have actually. This was the earliest time where we could have made the fuel last. Unless we ran out the race on blue, basically. So it is what it is. This really sucks for Coburn. She's going to lose pace massively. But I don't really see another opportunity to do this. So let's just do it. This time I guess we are kind of sacrificing her instead of Bjelland, which is not ideal, but it is what it is. We can't be burning our fuel too quickly. That is okay. And let's get Coburn in really soon. And she'll have 9 laps to go, so that is good. We can run her on orange for the rest of the race. That's not too bad. If we put you on this, can we actually get the roundup bonus? No. If we put you on this, can we then get the roundup bonus? Yes. Okay, perfect. It saves us a little bit. It saves us like 1 full second. I don't think we'd be getting that second if we just ran the motor in overtake mode for the last 1/3 of the lap. So it's always worth it, I think, to really try and force that that roundup bonus, even if it does cost you a bit of overtake mode and some speed in your lap. All right. I think this is looking fine. We'll be running you on something like orange. See if you get out ahead of your teammate. You do, and actually ram him and let through your other competitor. What are you doing, Coburn? Are you assisting the competition? Okay. I think we picked fine here. All of these people are definitely out too long. We had to basically keep one of our drivers out for a little bit too long. 1 lap on in the rain when she really shouldn't have been. I think these people will actually be getting the short end of the stick much more. Because they must be very slow right now out on these. What are you doing? You are still going for 1 more? That is bananas, my man. That's crazy. The ball's on you, Leclerc. Alright, good for you. Well, let's see what that does for you, I guess. You are half a lap ahead, but staying out, that takes gut. Alright, good luck. Hopefully you don't crash. I couldn't really use a safety car right now. That wouldn't be good. We did gain a few spots back there. 13th now with Coburn. So it seems like staying out for 1 more lap actually didn't do her that much of a disfavor, which is nice. I'm very curious to see how Leclerc and Tulipano do. Let's at the very least keep an eye on Leclerc and where he gets out after his pit. Because I would love to see whether that was actually a winning strategy. I can barely imagine that it is. To still be out on the slicks with this much rain, but oh, it looks like he's gonna get out ahead if he starts moving. Yeah, he might get out ahead of everyone. Yep. All right, good for... No, he just got overtaken at the last bit there, but good for you, Leclerc. That was a ballsy move. Looks like Tulipano, yeah, for him it's going to be a more costly endeavor. He did lose a lot of spots, I think, but damn, Leclerc made it stick. Still in third, but not a bad move at all. That takes guts. Alright, so much as for our drivers, this is pretty much looking perfect. I don't think we need to be doing too much besides making sure our tires don't explode from heat. Apart from that, we can't do too much for them. We can't be really giving them much more or less fuel, because that is pretty much timed out almost perfectly. Yeah, you can run orange for the rest. You can maybe run like 2 laps on orange. Let's give you that little bit of extra power too. Let's bring back your tires a little bit. I don't want to get into the heat too early. With a few laps left, we can definitely just run them ragged, but for now, let's make sure that they don't explode. We're still in 13th, that is good. Really give you the power pressure that you want on the tires, so you'll just have to fend them off with a orange engine. Yeah, looks like we at most would have been fighting for that 200,000 bonus, so it's a shame we can't be targeting the 4th, but it's always a bit of a toss-up whether you'll be able to get it or not. Depends a bit on the luck. Basically this time we had no crashes, and also on the track. I guess we could have seen that the gearbox was important, so probably that wouldn't have gone very well for us, but you never know. I think this time we took a gamble, didn't pay off, and 200,000 isn't that much anyway, so maybe from now on we'll actually just always pick the 800,000, especially early on in the season when we have a good chance due to other people needing a lot of part fixes. That would definitely be something to improve on, I think, for... let's get you a little bit out of that heat zone again. That would definitely be an improvement, I think, for the 3rd season to do and gain a little bit more money out of it. Alright, I think one of you will need to drop off on the engine mode soon. I guess you, since you have less fuel. But let's see. As long as he still has the excess fuel indicator, I don't mind so much. So, yeah, there it goes. Let's not take you down on that. It's gonna rain till the rest of the session, so that is perfectly fine. We have soon 2 laps left. As soon as the 2nd lap comes up, I think we are going to push our tires to the brink, especially for you, since you are at 47%. And let's also start doing it, I think, for you soon. Some people are still going to pit. That is very good for us. 4 people right there. I guess they didn't time their fuel well enough. Those are the people that must have pitted right with Bieland, I suppose. And that really cost them out there. So that is nice for us. Still raining rather hard. That is not so bad. Yes, I know your tires are worn, but you should make them last for 1 more lap, I think. Yeah, that should be fine. They last quite long, these inters. Perfect. Maybe we have to take you off of the medium now too. I think you might not make that stick till the end. Let's get you back down, and I'm starting to really get a little bit worried now about these tires. Let's take you back down for a little bit. Looks like you're not really in any position to get overtaken there. I don't know why you're dropping off so quick. You must have lost fuel. Yeah, you are definitely out of fuel. You're getting overtaken by everyone. Alright, good for us. And push you for the last little bit. You can still push a tiny bit. Let's give you that extra bit of fuel maybe. Oh, you overtook someone else there who also must have been out of fuel, because you are going very slow as well. Alright, well, we got a 9th place out of that. That is in the top 10. Even Bieland got a pretty decent result. That is definitely better than a combined 10th as a team. So I think we'll be getting another marketability bonus out of that. We did finish a little bit off of the sponsor objective, but all in all, I'd say we did pretty well there, especially for forgetting to check for more rain in the middle of the race. Luckily, it worked out well for us. We could barely still make that quick pit stop. And we got a pretty decent result once again. Not bad at all. I think it must have been the people that pitted extra must have been the ones that pitted exactly at the same time as Bieland, right? Yeah. See, all the people that pitted here also pitted with Bieland, but they didn't actually manage their fuel or tires. So they had to come in early anyway, and we even saw, I think, Chu here, for example, finish dead last because he didn't manage his fuel well enough, and yeah, just didn't have any anymore. That is Funny. Let's see if we get any spots. Yes, actually both our drivers I think went up one more spot because of Mr. Tulipano here, who got demoted 6 places after 2 parts were found breaking the rules. Mustafa Al Sadat also got demoted for 2 places, but that didn't impact us. Imagine having illegal parts and only coming in 16th and then dropping 2 more spots. That is unfortunate. That means now Coburn is in 9th, which is very nice. Bieland is in 16th. He was already in 16th, so he didn't move much. But he is now on pace with Marchetta, so maybe he can still do something and get up there. Still, Coburn is really tearing it up, and that is even considering she crashed twice, I think. So definitely not too shabby. We are now in 6th, 5 points clear of Archer, but a rather large way down from Vexala Motorsport in 5th. I don't see ourselves getting top 5 this season, but well, fighting for 6th here with the other 2 teams being right below us, that is definitely nice. We are not even the worst, fighting for the worst teams in the grid. Dragon Racing Team and ZRT Autosport are way off of us right now. That is 20 points. We would need to have some disaster races to even go down there. So I can't say that I'm upset at this season so far. I think we're doing rather well. The second season, we still have one of the worst cards out there, with only our brakes, I think, being above 10th. So definitely not too shabby, let's just say. I think our strategy so far is carrying us through this season, and we could have definitely picked a higher expected result. But like I said, this really benefits your team marketability by picking this early on. I think next season will be a little bit more ambitious, but getting our team's marketability to 100% overall is definitely the goal for now. Yeah, we didn't get a sponsor bonus, but it was worth the gamble, I think. And anyway, we got a nice amount of money. Let's see what our team's marketability now is at. Yeah, overall we are of course at 94%, but now this is slowly creeping up towards that 100% level, which is very nice. You can now also see we have 2 slots open, so let's have a look whether hopefully those level 5 sponsors will soon start swarming in. Let's see, are you... Ooh, you are pretty good. You're good at tires and fixing, and you can do the rear jack or the front jack. And you have very high... Yeah, we're gonna get rid of you because you have horrible everything else. He has very high stamina too, so that is very nice. Let's get rid of you. I think the rest wasn't so interesting. Nope. Nope. And nope. And let's swap out everyone that needs swapping out. Actually, no one really needs swapping out besides you, because you're bad at your job, apparently. Let's get you in there. Let's get our new recruit in there. I guess we can also put you in. And you have kind of bad stuff. So can we get someone with 0? Yeah, we can. And we have only 1 person left that doesn't have 0%, but the alternatives aren't great. I guess you. Yeah, let's just put you. I would love to just have 0% across the board. Does cost us a little bit in pit stop time, but that is not too bad. All right. That is it for today. I think that is a very good point to wrap up. Another great race result for us. I want to thank you very much for watching, and I hope you had a good time. I for sure had, and I'll see you next time.